Hey everybody, this is Jake, and I wanted to take a few minutes to walk you through the steps to creating an Edmodo assignment, and we're going to go through all of them. Since I'm logged into Edmodo, the first thing I always want to do is check my notifications, and I don't have any. It's all good. So this is the group that we used for Edmodo Day. I'm going to create the assignment in a different group so everybody doesn't get all these notifications. So I'm going to start with my tech class. And the assignment that we did was a Blabberize animal. So we started off taking a look at Switcheroo Zoo or switchzoo.com. And I had already created an animal, so I'm going to choose an animal, and we're going to have to go to that animal's habitat. And what we did was take the head of the animal and we gave it something different. So we gave this buffalo a cheetah head, and we'll give him the tail of a zebra. And we can give him some different legs too. How about bear legs? Okay, so what we would do now is with the students we would want to talk about, and I have this for you also, we'd want to discuss the animal's habitat, the predators and prey of that animal, carnivore, whether it's a carnivore, herbivore, or omnivore, and some potential facts for our made-up animal, our cheetah, bear, buffalo, zebra. So we can see that the habitat, and the students would be able to use that those context clues of the picture to help decide the habitat. I think that we're pretty confident that this would be a carnivore, but we would discuss this with the students and we'd ask them why they jumped to those conclusions or what led them to those conclusions. So we would discuss our animal, and then in Edmodo, and I would have this part created already, but actually now with the new version I would just go ahead and schedule these posts. But the first thing that I'm going to do is go ahead and create a poll. So after we discussed our animal, I would have the students go in and take this poll. So our poll is, where does your favorite animal live? So I'm going to copy that and post it into Edmodo. And our options were in the air, on land, or in the water. You have to click on Add Answer for the third one. And by default it's selected the entire group. So I'd want to actually send that to all the students that are in that group. I don't have any subgroups set up for this class, so I'd want to send it to all of them. So I send that out to everyone. And unlike yesterday, we're not going to be able to get any votes because I don't have any of these students around. But yesterday at Edmodo Day, you were able to see that the votes pop up really quickly. And if you refresh it, then you get everybody's responses in just a couple of seconds. So after having the students complete the poll and talking about maybe what are some of our favorite animals that live in the air or that live on land or in the water, the students would be able to discuss those and tell us about their favorite animals. So after we've created the poll, the next thing that I would do is introduce the assignment. So I'm going to click on an assignment. I'm going to come back to my trusty text document over here, and I'm going to copy the assignment. I'm going to paste that into the description, and I'm going to call this Blabberize Animal Assignment to avoid any confusion. Okay, and I wanted to add the link to the site where I got this idea from. And I would go ahead and create this myself and post it on my own blog for my students, but I'm going to give them credit at the IMS library because they did a great job with this assignment. So I'm going to go back to Edmodo, I'm going to give that link. And I definitely want to do that because on that page there are a couple of great examples. So I'm going to attach a link to that page. I'm going to go ahead and click off this just to show you that I want to type it to I want to send this to my tech group. So I'm just going to type SJ, and they're the first ones that come up. So I've got everything that I need for the assignment. I'm going to go ahead and send it. I didn't set a due date for the assignment, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll make it due on Saturday night. Okay, so now we've got the assignment posted. So now the students would go and be able to read the assignment. Click on the full post so we could see it, and I left off the one there. So I can go back and edit that. And I do want to add that. My students would call me out for that pretty quickly. So the due date's going to stay the same. Okay, so now we have the assignment posted. We see turned in, but the students will see turn it in, and they'll click on this and it will ask for their link to their assignment, or a document, or and if it's a document in the library, then they could use Google Drive and click on the library to add it. So the assignment is to research an animal through Switcheroo Zoo. So I can go back and find just the original animal, and mine will be a giraffe. And you can see Switcheroo Zoo is a great site. There's a lot of great activities on it. So I'm going to go back to the Switch Zoo. And I'm just going to go ahead and find my giraffe, and I'm going to research it here. Okay, so I don't need this site anymore. We would go ahead and look up the giraffe and find him and learn all about him right there. So I'm going to click this off because it's making a lot of noise. And I'm going to go to Blabberize after I've found a picture of my giraffe. So I've found him on Google. I found a Creative Commons picture that I would be able to use, and I'm going to go ahead and use that to upload. So I need to log into Blabberize. You can use your own account and have the students all use the same account. That's what they did in the example. Okay, so I did make a practice one, but I'm going to go ahead and make one. So I'm going to click on Make. Okay, so in Blabberize, I'm going to go ahead and find the picture of my giraffe, and it's on my desktop. So I'll just click on that. Okay, I don't need to crop it or move this around. This will be fine. Okay, so I'm going to have to create my mouth. Okay, and I want just this part to move whenever he's talking. I don't need to add any other mouths because I've only got the one giraffe in the picture. So I'll say OK. Okay, ordinarily I would record with the microphone, but since I am recording this video with it, then I'm going to just upload one that I've just created using Audacity. So I'm going to click on that, browse for the file. Okay, so it's giraffe MP3. I'm going to say OK. Hopefully that is less than 30 seconds. Okay, and so it's created. Let's take a look at it. You might not be able to hear it very well, but let's see.
Calves are also targeted by leopards, spotted hyenas, and wild dogs. Adults don't have strong social bonds, but we do gather in loose aggregations if we happen to be moving in the same direction. The males will establish social hierarchies through necking, which are combat bouts where the neck is used as a weapon.
Okay, so there he is. So I'm going to say OK. So I'm going to save it. Okay, I do want it to be private. It's not mature, so I'm going to save. Okay, and here he is. So I'm going to share him. And I'm not sure if he's private, if I'm going to be able to let everyone else see it, but we'll find out. So I'm going to copy that embed code. I wanted to use embed code. Here's the URL. We could use that as well. But I want to try and keep everything in Edmodo. So I'm going to post it, even though I would normally click on turn it in to where it would ask me for that link. But I'm just going to post it right here. So I'm going to click on just note. And I'm going to put the link right here. Remember, you can put the URL or the embed code. So let's see if it recognizes the name of it as giraffe. Nope, it did not. So I'm going to say that it's a giraffe. Attach it. I'm going to send this to the entire group. And I would actually want my students to send it to the entire group this time as well. So I'm going to go ahead and post it. Make sure that the embed works. So here he is. Let's see if he loads. Okay, it doesn't quite fit all of him because it cut it off, but it works. And again, I could also just use the link so that they would actually go to that Blabberize page, so they would just see this page. Okay, so the next part of the assignment was to have everyone else look at those, to view each other's Blabberizes. So I'm going to send out a note now, and I'm going to go back to my assignment sheet. So my note is going to be both to the parent group and the students. So I'm going to go to Edmodo. It's just a note, so I'm just going to type it in right there. There may very well be a quiz. Again, I could link to the assignment again. So I'm going to send to SGH Tech and the parents so that they remind those students to go ahead and watch all of those videos. So I'm going to send that one out. Okay, so I've got the notes sent out. So the next day, we're going to go ahead and create a quiz for those students to take over the Blabberize videos. Now, before we do that, we should actually watch this one so that we can do pretty well on the quiz. So this was a great one by a student. Again, you probably won't be able to hear it very well, but let's see.
Hello, I'm a muskrat, but you can call me Muskie or Andoncha Zivazica, but nobody really calls me that. I live in land and water. I usually can be found in marshes, ponds, and quiet streams. I first started out in North America, was introduced into Europe, and spread to Asia. My greatest enemy is the human because they kill me for my gorgeous musk and earthy perfume. When they try to come near me, I swim away as fast as I can. I have to say, though, I do walk awkwardly on land. It's only because I have these webbed feet so I can swim faster. Anyway, I eat aquatic plants, frogs, and fish. That is my biotic factor. My abiotic factor is the sun, water, and land. By the way, I'm an omnivore. An omnivore is someone or something that eats plants and animals. I also have several litters each year. I can have up to 11 litters. Guess how long I could stay submerged underwater? For 20 minutes. If you ask me, that's a long time. In the beginning of this presentation, I bet you were thinking, what's a muskrat? Hopefully you know a little bit more about me now.
So I think she had an awesome script. So we're going to use one about a question about the muskrat in our quiz. So we're going to go back to Edmodo and create our quiz. Okay, so I don't have one loaded, so I'm going to go ahead and create it. And again, this would be the next day after they've been assigned all of those videos to watch. So we're sort of creating a flipped lesson. So this is going to be our animal Blabberize quiz. The first question I want to be multiple choice, so I'm going to add the first question. And here's my question. Who are the greatest enemies of the muskrat? So I'm going to copy that. Okay, response A, I think was moles. We're going to say that this one is humans. We're going to add a response. And again, I could add pictures or links to pictures of moles or humans or alligators. And then we're going to add our fourth response, beavers. Okay, so we need to click on the correct one. So humans is correct, so I'm going to set that one as the correct answer. And that's all of our question one, so I'm going to add a second question. And my second question I want to be a true-false, just to show you that you do have the options of short answer, fill in the blank, true, false, and multiple choice. Okay, I can also give those point values, so it's going to be 100 points for my test, so I'm going to say question 2 is going to be 50 points, and question 1 is going to be 50 points. I could certainly create a lot more questions, but for the purposes of this video, I'm not going to. So our true-false question is going to be a muskrat can stay underwater for more than 30 minutes. And I remember her clearly saying that how impressive it was that she could stay underwater for 20 minutes. So I'm going to paste that in, and our correct answer is going to be false. And I'm done with that quiz, so I'm going to assign the quiz. I did give them a time limit of 60 minutes to do these 2 questions. So the quiz is posted, so they can go to the quiz. This is where they would click on to take it. And I do want it to add that to the gradebook. Okay, I want to give them a due date again of this weekend. Okay, I can give that any time. And I can send this out to the parents as well. I'm just going to send this one to the students. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and send the quiz out. Okay, so now I'd be able to see who turned it in as soon as they do. And And that was basically the assignment, that I wanted to go ahead and have them do just those things. So again, the quiz is already added to the gradebook. You do need to actually click on that. So if I go to grades and click on theirs, I think I deleted most of them. So none of them have taken the assignment yet, but if Eric were to take it and get one question right, he would get a 50. And then I would be able to export that CSV file so that I could import it to Excel if our gradebook program uses Excel or works well with Excel. If not, then I've got them right there to print off, or just to copy and paste, or to type in. So that was the assignment that I wanted to make sure I used each one of these. Remember, notifications up here are awesome. Once that you've got everyone joining your group, and I don't really need anyone else to join, don't click reset or else it will change it. Just lock the group for the time being. Remember that the support community is awesome, and as soon as you ask a question, about 10-15 minutes later, somebody will answer you. Okay, I suppose that's really all I wanted to go over, was to show you how to go ahead and start pasting those, or start placing your assignments and your quizzes and your polls on Edmodo. So if you have any questions, you can always email me at duncanbilingual@gmail.com, or you can get in touch with me through Edmodo. My profile page is edmodo.com/Jake Duncan.